Hakeem Olajuwon worked hard to get his points. They did that by taking the man that was guarding the man in the corner that passed the ball and double teaming. It was very effective. Hakeem had 31 points, but he had to work for him.
You know, the Suns looked back to Game 5. They said they were very tight, that they had no flow to their offense.
Well, you know, it's funny. I looked out there and I saw what I thought was a hodgepodge offense. Paul Westphal, I felt very sorry for because I know what it's like to be on that sideline and not be able to control the flow of offense. He relies basically on KJ to do it and Barkley. It didn't come from either place, and he was somewhat frustrated.
Houston in the last game attempted a playoff record 32 three-point shot. And Paul Westphal told us today he fears their three-point shooting.
Well, he ought to fear him because Rudy Tomjanovich has an interesting attitude towards the three-point shot. Gary, he feels, hey, all my guys who are three-point shooters have a green light, and that's for 48 minutes. That's pretty impressive. He even said he'd like to see them shoot the ball from the old three-point line because it helps the spacing for Hakeem.
Well, Westphal also told us this Suns team is too good a team not to bounce back. They do not want to go to a Game 7. They know the longer this series continues, the tougher it's going to get. The Suns and Rockets, Game 6 after the break. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, three teams looking for that knockout punch. Here on TNT, Phoenix is going to try to put away Houston. They'll have to do it at the Summit, and later the Spurs are going to try to do the same thing to the Lakers. They'll have to do that at the Great Western Forum. Playing right now on our sister network TBS, the Orlando Magic trying to move in for the kill against the Chicago Bulls, playing Game 6 at the United Center. The Magic on top, 3-2. Dennis Scott on fire early, hit his first three-pointers. It was a 13-4 early lead for Orlando, but the Bulls have come back into the first quarter now. The Bulls on top, 36-31. You can catch that game on TBS. Coming right up, it's Phoenix and Houston, the NBA on TNT.
NBA playoffs go! Who got the fever? We got the fever! The NBA on TNT! Stop what you're doing, listen up, my friend. All of a sudden, we got a series again. The Houston Rockets are set to explode after winning game number 5 on the road. Come on! KJ's been a scoring machine, and no one can stop Hakeem the Dream. It's off to the Summit, the place to be. Game 6, catch it on TNT.
Getting ready, getting ready. Playoff basketball.
NBA playoffs go!
Game 7, the Suns up 3-2. And Dick Versace, let's take a look now at the starting lineup. Some of the key matchups coming into this game.
Gary, Rudy Tomjanovich is very happy with the job that Robert Horry has been doing on Charles Barkley. Naturally, Horry gets help, but he's done a very good job of containing Barkley, which is what you have to do. The other key matchup you want to watch is Kenny Smith has got to do the job on KJ. He did a pretty good job. KJ's got to challenge a little bit more.
Robert Horry, who had 5 points in that overtime win on Tuesday. You had a quick look at Rudy Tomjanovich trying to keep his world championship reign intact. Paul Westphal said we had 3 chances, now down to 2 to get rid of this survival-type team, the Houston Rockets. And, of course, Kevin Johnson had a monster game in Game 4, a playoff career high of 43 points.
You know, there's some talk about when you have 2 superstars like a Barkley and a KJ on the same team, that once one guy has a great night, it bothers the other guy. It's interesting. Why don't they have good nights 2 games in a row?
Are you asking me that question? You just that rhetorical?
That is rhetorical.
All right. Drexler dumps it into Hakeem Olajuwon. He's the leading scorer in the playoffs, over 32 points a game. Look at that move. You knew that this guy will respond tonight. Why not? He always has.
Well, that was great. He froze a defender and just spun back and was able to get it in.
Speaking of responding, AC Green's had a monster playoff series into Barkley. They quickly come after him. They've been swarming him with the double teams. Were very effective in the last game. Barkley fought away, and that's an auspicious start.
Well, as you pointed out in Game 5, Gary, Charles loves to come out and establish the outside game. If he can hit a few shots, he knows his inside game's going to work much better.
Clyde Drexler playing 7 pounds lighter after a bout with the flu on Tuesday. Into Olajuwon to Kenny Smith. That's a 3. And that bodes well for Houston. When he gets started well, the Rockets seem to really take off.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny Smith has a habit of trying to rush the shot. That time he took a good deal of time to get it off, and that's when he makes a higher percentage.
He had 5 threes in the victory on Tuesday. Joe Clyde into Barkley again. Robert Horry, who has picked him up defensively in the last 3 games, commits the foul. Charles Barkley has had a couple of games which just defy description, averaging 11 points in the 2 losses. And in one game, he went 0 for 10 here in the Summit.
Well, Charles Barkley's not going to have an 0 for tonight, I guarantee you that. But I think the pressure is mounting on Charles Barkley to produce in these crucial games. He started off the NBA playoffs in 1995 in round 1, averaging about 33 points a game. He had a bravura performance against Portland when he scored 47 points. But he's tailed off considerably since then.
We're having some clock problems. Was that Italian for bravo? Is that what that meant?
Bravura.
Oh,
yes.
okay, just checking.
It's like a matzah. I mean, it's very good, very good.
The referees tonight are Ed T. Rush, Ron Garrettson, and Steve Javy. They've got everything corrected. Barkley goes to the line. Now, he could not hit a free throw in the last game.
Well, when we came to the shoot-around this morning, where was Charles Barkley? Out on the free throw line, practicing free throws. Paul Westphal said, that is a very good sign when Chucky comes out and starts practicing his free throws. Maybe he needs a little more work.
Yeah, he should have stayed a little longer. He was 1 for 6 in the last game. During the regular season, he shot at a 75% clip. Barkley's second is there. Boy, the crowd really responding when he missed that first one. 5-3 the Rockets in the early going here of Game 6. The Suns up 3 games to 2. And again, facing elimination, the defending world champions. Or he can't get it. Barkley the rebound. He had a 20-rebound performance in the last game. Charles handling it. And he's going to try a 3. Oh, my, and I tell you, Barkley is back.
Yeah, big time. He started off with, of course, 2 perimeter shots, the way he likes to establish his game. It'll be interesting, though, if he continues to shoot from the perimeter.
6-5, the Suns with the lead. Horry dumps it into Olajuwon. Clyde has done a reasonably good job on Hakeem. Hakeem gets the roll. When I say reasonable, you know you're not going to shut down Olajuwon.
No, you're never going to shut him down, but you don't like to see him come out with the kind of rhythm that he has right now. I double team him with a harder double team.
Wesley Person kicks it out to Clyde. Person coming off the 2 back-to-back strong performances for the Suns. And the ball is kicked. They'll reset the shot clock.
See, there's 2 kinds of double teams, Gary. You can kind of give a soft trap, which is what Hakeem does on Barkley, or you can squeeze the trap, where you really get in there and make the guy pass the ball.
They rotate nicely to Kevin Johnson. Wide open shot, lifted short. Pete Chilcutt with a rebound. Denny Smith, who had 17 threes in the first round against Utah, tying a 5-game series playoff record. Hakeem to the hole. And the Rockets have a 9-6 lead, and really Hakeem has 6 of the points.
Oh, Gary, he was really feeling it.
Kevin Johnson inside AC Green, and Clyde Drexler commits a foul. AC Green had hit 21 straight free throws in this series, and then it got away from him on Tuesday. He was 7 of 12, but he's still been very effective, shooting 89% in the playoffs.
AC Green probably is the X factor for the Phoenix Suns. He's the guy that does all the dirty work. He's their answer to Horace Grant. And I mean, he does a marvelous job of doing things, doing it quietly, and then never asking for any pats on the back.
Yeah, they don't run any plays for him.
No, not at all.
He's been in double figures now. 6 of the last, I should say double-doubles, 6 of the last 8 games. Trying to move the Suns within 1, and he rattles it home. So that's a better start for AC Green after he missed his first 2 from the line on Tuesday night. Chilcutt, who did not score in the last game, into Drexler. Drexler had only 4 points, played 32 minutes, but he was struggling with his help. Here's Chilcutt inside to the hole.
Where'd he get that?
Pete Chilcutt with a nice move inside, and that's not what you expect from him. He's more of a stand-up shooter from outside.
Well, that's probably why it worked. He didn't expect him to do it.
Here's Clyde. Joe Clyde, a ball is kicked. They'll reset the shot clock once again. One of the things the Suns like to do is get Clyde and also Danny Ainge later in the ball game, taking that 18-footer outside. But you can see they've extended a little bit on their defense.
Well, you got to force them out of their range if you can, but you're going to leave it inside open when you do that.
And AC inside, blocked by Hakeem. Green will try again, missed it, and Hakeem tips it out. Kenny Smith tries to come up with it in person, gets it instead. And it goes back to Hakeem after all. By Drexler, he gave him an emotional lift Tuesday, even though he was sick. He'll try a three. Rebound, Horry tips it to Olajuwon. The Rockets very active. Kevin Johnson tried to draw the foul. He's shaken up. He got hit in the mouth. He's getting up very slowly. Chilcott to Drexler. Drexler can't get it. Chilcott follows. And Kevin Johnson is really shaken. They're going to have to call a timeout.
Well, so is Hakeem. Hakeem is crumbling right in front of us here. Both of them are bleeding.
So this must have been the collision where he pivoted and collided with Kevin. Hakeem did not show instantly the result. Kevin did. Let's watch it.
See,
oh, man.
And see, here's the thing. The official didn't call. I mean, official has to make a call there. He didn't call it either way. See, now you're going to see Paul Westphal complaining, how can my man be bleeding from the mouth and no call be made? And then Rudy Tomjanovich is going to come over and say, my man is almost not cold, and no foul is called.
Oh.
Is that incidental contact?
Not in my book. But the interesting thing to me...
That might be an international incident.
Yeah. Dick, what was interesting to me is how long Hakeem continued on before we really saw the effects of the blow to him. We knew Kevin was down, but Hakeem continued on inside, and somehow they were able to come up with a basket.
Gary, that's the warrior in him. The warrior in him made him continue to get the play, get the ball going, get it back outside. Then he realized, and then all of a sudden he got woozy and crumbled right in front of us.
Wow. What a way to start this ball game. We're going to have a timeout now by the Suns. That was an official's delay for a while. 7:55 to go in this first quarter. Interesting development here in Game 6. The Rockets on top, 13-8.
There are times when the game comes down to a single moment, when one pass, one whistle, one play will make the difference. When that time comes, it's your job to weigh the risk and reward of a single decision. The pressure, possibility of the moment, that's why you do what you do. That's why you coach. And when it's over, it's over. Until tomorrow.
Houston with a 13-8 lead. Hakeem looks like he's ready to continue. We're going to go back and show that whole sequence again.
Gary, what I think is amazing is watch Hakeem Olajuwon. Bang! There's the hit. Whoa! But he has the presence of mind or instinct to just keep playing. His team is going to end up getting a basket out of this, but both of these guys smacked each other. That's some kind of kiss.
We have been told by the Suns that KJ has suffered a cut lip. He will get stitches, but will return. Hakeem is already back. Kevin, of course, right now getting some attention. So a huge game like this, what adjustments you have to make right now? You know, even though Hakeem's out there, he's got to be shaken. And Kevin, of course, still off the floor.
Well, both of these teams have players that can come off the bench and put points on the board. But when you're talking about replacing one of your supers, there's no way you can really replace him. You just have to ask for a better effort from the guy that you bring in. Maybe, a superior effort.
So the Rockets with a 13-8 lead, 7:55 left in this first quarter. Substitution problems here as Rudy Tomjanovich now getting Chucky Brown into the ball game. Wayman Tisdale and Elliot Perry have checked in for the Suns.
Elliot Perry has spent most of this series watching KJ, so he has not had heavy minutes in this particular series.
Well, they've had some matchup problems with him as far as defense is concerned, and there's a foul. Clyde Drexler pushing. So Drexler commits a foul. And now Brown will check out, and Chilcott will check back in. That's the second foul on Drexler. And against the Rockets, their third team foul. And now Mario Ellie will come in. Ellie played 40 minutes in the game Tuesday, had 15 points. And Drexler, with those two fouls, will have to sit down.
And Wayman Tisdale is in, and Clyde Drexler, of course, who was sick in Game 5, is much healthier tonight, so that's a big plus for Houston.
Barkley gets the double. Tisdale, who's only 1 of 7 shooting the last 2 games, gets that one. That's going to help his confidence.
And it's exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Paul Westphal, because he has not been able to get Wayman Tisdale many minutes against the Rockets.
Rockets shooting 67% in the early going. Tisdale reaching in. He commits the touch foul. That'll be the first on Wayman.
And Gary, and this is one of the reasons that Paul Westphal is reluctant to play Wayman Tisdale heavy minutes against the Rockets, because he does not match up well with the Dream.
And it comes to the Dream. Back to Horry. They re-enter the ball again with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Horry with a 3.
It's exactly what Rudy T was telling us at the shoot-around. He says, yeah, I like to make that pass from the corner because you can play the in-out game. And if we hit the threes, we can get them all night.
Rockets 2 of 3 from three-point land, and Person gives the Suns their second 3 of the night. They're 2 for 2 behind the line.
Of course, Wesley Person had a chance to win it all for Game 5 and put the Suns into the Western Conference Finals. He had a shot that was 6 inches down and lipped out in regulation.
Kenny Smith just keeps going, and that's the problems Elliot Perry's had, is trying to defensively stay with Kenny Smith.
Well, people don't realize it, but he's one of the quickest guards in the league.
And it comes to Barkley. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's Elliot Perry into Tisdale. Tisdale blocked by Hakeem. Trying to follow inside was Barkley. Ellie comes up with the ball. Mario Ellie ducking inside. They call him their junkyard dog. He is so tough. And Chilcutt able to bury one from the corner.
Yeah, Paul Westphal wants to talk about this, because right now you've got Houston, you've got energy, and you've got the crowd.
And as an end result, the Rockets have an 8-point lead. Pete Chilcutt.
It's his time. When he gets that time, he'll knock them down. The Suns had a very effective defensive technique against Houston when they passed the ball from the corner. Rudy T says, when we get the ball in the corner, we like to play the in, out, and in game. And when that happens, he says, we get easy shots from the corner. All we have to do is make them. Look at the time Robert Horry had from the corner.
I tell you, this Rocket team is sizzling early. They're shooting 75% from the field. Chilcutt and Olajuwon have hit all 3 of their shots each. And it comes to Barkley. He traveled with it. He bounced off of Horry, and Houston right now has really got this game the way they wanted to start it. They have played effectively. Suns still awaiting the return of Kevin Johnson. As we told you, he cut his lip. He's getting stitches. He's expected to return to the game. There's Chilcutt, who's 3 of 3. Horry dumps it into Olajuwon. Now Danny Ainge has come in to try to stay up with him. Touch pass goes off now to Smith. 8 seconds on the shot clock. With 5. Horry with 3, and the rebound by Danny Ainge. Good defense that time by the Suns.
Yeah, they forced the penetration and shot off the dribble by Robert Horry, not one of his strengths.
And it comes to Barkley. As Paul Westphal said, he's going to get the ball a lot. We have an illegal defense now against Houston. That'll be the first, a warning. But as Paul said, we will go to the Chuckster every time we can tonight.
Well, you know, he had a hard time in Game 5, and we talked about it, directing the offense. Chuck has got to get the ball. Chuck Barkley has got to get the ball, and that's where he's going to direct it.
Danny Ainge gets it into Barkley. Barkley coming out, Olajuwon switching out. The double on him, he split it and just went right to the hole with the ball.
That's the Barkley move. When he gets the double, he dribbles out towards the baseline, trying to get the double team to come with him. Most times, he'll try to play one guy if he stays. If the double stays, he'll rotate the ball.
Barkley.
That time he just split him.
Barkley with 8 points in the ball game. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense again by the Suns. Olajuwon with 5. The face-up jumper. That's his first miss. Barkley had the box-out position. Off it comes down to Elliot Perry. Perry trying to draw the foul from Ellie. Kicks it out to Wesley Person. Person, the rookie from Auburn. A leaner. It's blocked. And we're going to have a foul. An offensive foul on Wesley Person leaning in.
I think he may have a legitimate complaint. It's a very difficult call. But Wesley Person was told by Lionel Hollins, take the ball off the dribble, try to shoot that little in-between shot.
Hakeem seemingly everywhere tonight. Both ends of the floor rejecting that, and then Person with the offensive foul. Hakeem wheels in. Shea, pretty good defensive effort. Off it comes to Person. 2-on-2. Off at Barkley. Barkley looking inside. AC Green, he got it, and Hakeem may have gotten a piece of it, but it still went.
Well, no one picked up AC Green. That was simply a matter of not matching up. Most 8th graders do a pretty good job of that.
Suns were trailing 20-12. Now have cut it to 4, 20-16. Kenny Smith using the pick and roll with Chilcutt. Here's Chilcutt. Chilcutt has a hot hand early. Ellie on the baseline, running one-hander. Rebound Barkley. They're not getting the looks they were earlier. Suns have really stepped up their defense the last 3 times down the floor.
Yeah, well, blood will get your blood moving, won't it?
Here's Barkley follow-away. And Charles Barkley, who hit 7 of his first 9 shots Tuesday, then 1 of his next 13, has started well tonight. And we're going to have a timeout by the Houston Rockets. 3:39 to go, first quarter. The Suns have 6 unanswered points since the timeout, and they've cut it to 2.
Phoenix loves to get the ball inside to Charles Barkley. He must get a double team. Watch Hakeem Olajuwon come over. Here's your double right here. Here's your double. What Charles likes to do, they call it the Barkley move, is dribble the double outside. Watch him take both men out. If one stays, he takes him off the dribble. They didn't know what to do, so he split them both. Terrific move.
And Barkley off very effectively, has 10 points in the ball game. Coming up next, another series of great deal of interest. It's at 3-2 in favor of San Antonio. The Spurs in the Great Western Forum tonight. And of course, the winner of these 2 series will start the Western Conference Finals sometime. We don't know when yet.
You know, Gary, I've been involved with this league for 10 years, and I don't think I've seen a more interesting set of playoff games than we have this year.
The Suns down by 2 after trailing by 8. Horry trying to dump it into Olajuwon. Shea's bodying up. Green on the double team. Horry
Totally caught Phoenix off guard. Why? Because when Houston throws the ball inside, they very seldom, if ever, cut.
Good effort by Olajuwon, and he couldn't quite save it. He steps out of bounds. The Suns will get it back. Shea thought he was fouled. He's complaining to Steve Javy. But Olajuwon, I tell you, that really lifts your team to see your big star center come out with that kind of energy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Gary, he's something special. I mean, you run out of superlatives. I have no more.
I can't believe that. Here's Elliott Perry with a 2. Green is going to be over the back, a loose ball foul. Let's go now to Nicole Watson. Nicole?
Well, Gary, during the timeout, Hakeem had an ice pack on the back of his neck, and he was holding his nose. But when he was asked by the doctors if he's fine, he says, yes, I'm ready to go back into the game.
And you have a look at Dick Emerson, the team doctor for the Suns. It looks like they've administered the stitches to Kevin Johnson. He's returned to the bench area. Hakeem has it broken up, saves it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mario Ellie from outside. Rebound tipped around. Hakeem's got it, and he'll take it in, and he draws the foul from Shea. Shea's frustrated because he mistimed his jump on the rebound, allowing Olajuwon to come up with it.
Well, you're seeing great second efforts by the great Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Triple team, gets the ball out, then goes and does his homework. You know, when you're in school, you get good grades when you do your homework. Look at him work inside.
Shea's picking up his first foul. Olajuwon able to hit the free throw. He has 7 points in the ball game. You can see Kevin with looks like ice on the lip. He had stitches taken. We'll get an update on that later as this game wears on, but he's expected to return. So the Rockets, after having a cut to 2 now, have run off 4 straight points. Person dumps it into Charles. Horry trying to stay with it. Barkley looks so quick tonight, doesn't he? He just looks like a revitalized player.
Yeah, I think he's really possessed tonight to do what everyone expects him to do. He's got to produce tonight, and he's responding.
He has 12 points already here in the first quarter. 4-point lead for the Rockets. Hakeem slices across. Ellie to the hole, and that's what he did well Tuesday night, was taking it to the hole. Rockets by 6, 26-20. A minute 58 to go in the first quarter. Barkley ball away, and he is dead center with everything. Barkley shooting so well. He has not missed a shot in this ball game. He has 14 points, 6 of 6 from the field.
Well, you know, in Game 5, Gary, he started out 7 for 9 and then just disappeared.
Olajuwon, I don't think he's going to disappear tonight.
No, this is a crucial basketball game for both of these teams. Obviously, the Suns can get themselves into the Western Conference Finals with a win here. I don't think they want to go back to Phoenix for a 7th game.
Here's Barkley inside, and as he goes in, he draws the foul. Barkley, what he's doing, Dick, is he's just not waiting for people to get the ball to him. He's just taken over and has now created so many different moves in the early going.
I'll tell you why it works. Because Robert Horry is playing single coverage, but he's only supposed to play it momentarily. The double team is coming. You see, Olajuwon was supposed to come down on what coaches refer to as the slow double team.
Yep.
It helps when the guy who's got the ball is trying to pass the ball back out, because you can be a distance away from him. It's that soft trap I was telling you about. But Barkley's clever. He's beating the soft trap by taking Robert Horry off the dribble right away.
Well, Barkley, very smart, very studious of the game. The foul did not go on Horry. It went on Chilcutt, his first. Barkley hit his first free throw and rattles this one in, and the Suns have cut it back to 4 again.
And no joking around and smiling and talking to the crowd from Charles Barkley tonight.
He has that same focus I think we saw in the first round with Portland and the first 2 games of the series.
You're right, Gary. I saw it. I did 2 of those games. I felt it as well.
Horry has fouled Dan Majerle, who just checked into the ball game. Majerle, a proud papa. We'll develop that a little later. Nicole Watson has all the details as Dan and his wife Tina, now the proud parents of a baby daughter. And Horry will go to the line. Majerle with his first foul. Robert Horry's been very consistent throughout the playoffs. He's been averaging around 11 points, both first round and second round, but he had a huge overtime period. He scored 5 straight points in that overtime victory Tuesday. Olajuwon coming out of the game now, and Chucky Brown, who had a career game Tuesday, coming in for the Rockets.
Speaking of Chucky Brown, in the shoot-around today, Charles Barkley was surrounded by about 30 reporters having a nice conversation, and all of a sudden he bursts through them, marches away and says, "Chucky Brown, don't start comparing me to Chucky Brown."
Majerle ducks inside.
He says there's only one Chuck, the Chuckster.
And there's only one Barkley, I'll tell you. 30-26. He is a unique guy in a lot of ways, both on and off the floor. And there's Shays doing good defensive effort that time, and the Houston Rockets turn it over. Elliott Perry with a 2. Chilcutt with a rebound. And Barkley comes up with a steal off the person.
Oh, yeah!
That is quite a heads-up play by Charles Barkley, showing you again what his focus is tonight.
Gary, when he takes all that talent and makes it work and has a purpose in what he's trying to do, watch out.
Rockets lead has been cut to 2. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Here is Kenny Smith with a 3. Boy, I tell you, he ignites this team when he starts hitting behind the line.
You're absolutely right, Gary. But, you know, you can defend Kenny Smith if you'll run at him. You got to run at him, and what he'll try to do then is hurry the shot.
8 points for Kenny Smith. Last shot of the first quarter. They clear it out for Barkley. Barkley on Chucky Brown. Goes in with 2 seconds and gets it.
I'm afraid we might be looking at one of those bravura performances tonight, because he seems to have everything cooking. Great energy as well. Charles Barkley not only is making every shot that he takes, he's giving great effort, great floor effort as well.
And as an end result, Mr. Versace, he has a tidy 18 points in this first quarter of play, as Barkley did not miss a shot. 7 of 7 from the field. We played 1 quarter of Game 6. The Rockets up by 3. For an update on the injury to Kevin Johnson, let's go to Nicole Watson.
Well, Gary, for his collision with Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin Johnson now has 2 stitches to take home with him in his upper lip, and he's had some ice on the upper lip to reduce the swelling. He's okay right now, and he's on the bench.
Well, I would imagine he's still feeling the effects of it, but he's back. Hakeem able to continue right away, and Kevin Johnson dumps it into Tisdale, backing in on Chilcutt with a jump hook, and it's not there. Tipped around, rebounded by Kenny Smith. Clyde Drexler back in the ball game, tracks it down. Drexler, beautiful pass to Chucky Brown. He overshot it, but he gets his own rebound. The putback rejected by Barkley. Here comes Dan Majerle. Almost threw it away. Kevin Johnson able to track it down. Barkley with a three. Oh, he's just nailing everything. He's 8 for 8 tonight.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? He hit that shot, Gary, and he came back and he went right by us and he looked possessed. And he is really, I hate this word, but he's really focused.
That's the focus we talked about he had earlier in the playoffs. And what a response. He's tied it up at 33. Smith, they extend the defense, his three-point shooting ability. Ellie slashing, that's a running one-hander he likes, gets his own rebound, and it's knocked away by Tisdale. 3-on-2 to Majerle. Tough catch, but he made it.
Nice finish for Dan Majerle. That's a difficult shot for him.
Dan Marley's taken it inside twice now and hit a couple of buckets. Kenny Smith drives in, deflected by Tisdale. Batted outside. Here come the Suns again. Barkley with Smith in the way. Changed hands, and Ellie goes up. Goaltending, and Ellie's hurt. Ellie hit hard, and he was holding it, looked like his wrist initially. He had a bad back from Tuesday night when he took a hard fall.
I've been coaching for about 28 or 30 years, and you see a lot of these, he's more scared than hurt.
Is that right? Yeah, we're going to have a 20-second timeout. Ellie, as we mentioned, was having problems with the back. Let's watch it again.
Now watch. He breaks his fall right there. Hit his elbow a little bit. When you get hooked up with the shoulder of Charles Barkley, you're going to fall off of him. He's not going to go anywhere. But Mario Ellie really was more scared than hurt. He's hurt a little bit, but not in a Game 6. In a game that can lead you to a Game 7 that can lead you to the Western Conference Finals. That's a hurt, and that's a hit you'll take.
Westfall, you could see wanting the goaltending call. He got it. So Barkley now is 9 of 9 from the field. He has 23 points in the ball game. And Dick, we have 10 and a half minutes to go in the second quarter.
I don't know what's left in this game because it couldn't be more exciting than the first 12 minutes of what we've seen or 14 minutes of what we've seen. It's just been spectacular.
There's the numbers we're talking about. We didn't mention the 2 steals. I mean, he's done it all. Remember now, Barkley had 47 points in Game 3 in the first round against Portland. Last year, he had a 56-point game in Game 3 against Golden State in the first round.
But you know, Gary, I was there and did that game. It was an unbelievable performance. But as we talked about before, during that period of time, he acted differently than he has in the last couple games in this series. He's been more lighthearted, more jovial, more interaction with the crowd and the refs and so forth. But for some reason, he had an offer, and then he took a vacation in Game 5, and now he's back in business.
You saw that score in the Orlando-Chicago series. We'll keep you updated on that. And, of course, following our game here, we'll go to the Great Western Forum for a Game 6 between the Spurs and the Lakers. 10:27 to go in the first half. Drexler backing in on Majerle. Drexler the leader. Awfully hard to guard a guy at 6'7", backing you in that deep.
Well, he's a great low post player, maybe an underrated low post player. And it's an element that was not available to Rudy Tomjanovich in Game 5.
Off it comes to Tisdale, and Tisdale getting the assist from Kevin Johnson, hammers it home, and he'll go to the free throw line. We mentioned Wayman had struggled the last 2 games, but he's gotten back on track so far tonight.
You know what this game reminds me of? You're going to see Wayman Tisdale here, a nice screen and roll, good unselfish pass, and a great finish by Wayman Tisdale. But Gary, this game reminds me of when I saw Michael Spinks fight Mike Tyson for the first time. When Mike Tyson hit him, he backed up and went, oh no, it's going to be a long night. I think both these teams feel it's going to be a long night.
Chucky Brown committed the foul. Sam Cassell, number 10, is checked into the ball game now for the Rockets. Hakeem backs in, out to Ellie. There's Majerle reaching in, deflects it. Kevin Johnson, ahead it comes down to Person. Nice pass to Kevin Johnson and a foul. Boy, did they break out effectively on that one.
Well, one of the ways you can run on the Houston Rockets is you can get steals by jumping passing lanes. You can jump a passing lane because this is a team that loves to spot up. They don't do very much cutting. So the defense knows, and there you saw Dan Majerle get a nice steal by jumping in the passing lane, something that'll work against the Rockets.
We have a timeout. We'll be back. The Phoenix Suns trying to close out Houston, leading 40-35, and we have a movie premiere coming up next month on TNT. from the network that brought you Geronimo. It's the story of the warrior who fought to unite the tribes into an unstoppable army. Join us for Tecumseh when it premieres the first Sunday in June on TNT. Now, you talked about Ellie. He still looks like he's having some problems with the wrist.
No, I didn't mean to say that he wasn't hurt. I knew he was hurt. I knew he wasn't hurt badly. I knew he would get up and walk away. But I also knew that in the mind and in the heart of Mario Ellie, he realizes, I've got to play with this one.
And you saw Kevin Johnson, the hamstrings, especially the left one, giving him a lot of trouble. Aaron Nelson, the assistant trainer, working on him. Kevin Johnson rattles in the first free throw, hits the second, and the Suns are biggest lead of the ball game.
Gary, right now, the Phoenix Suns are shooting 70%. Houston shooting 54%, but they're hanging around, which is a good sign for them.
Drexler going inside, changed the shot.
Oh, sweet little double clutch.
Boy, he's got a lot more energy tonight, doesn't he?
Does he? Yep.
Tuesday night, he could hardly get off the floor. Here's Barkley. He gets off the floor. He's now 10 of 10 from the field.
I'm seeing it. Do I believe it?
I don't know if I do. How about Drexler comes back the other way, and he responds, and in that wide open game that Drexler is so famous for, and he makes it 44-39.
You know, when things are not good and they're bad, in Chicago we have a word for it. We call it treat. That's what Game 5. It was a treat game. But the level of play here is par excellence.
Suns don't want a Game 7. The Rockets want to send it back to Phoenix. Here is Person. That is a three. Tipped out. Sam Cassell's got it, and we're going to have a foul. Kevin Johnson got a piece of it.
That was a good foul. He saved the basket there.
Well, don't forget, at the conclusion of our game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. And the way this game is going, we may have a lot of players of the game. Barkley's off to a pretty good start, I would say.
Olajuwon has 10 points already.
AC Green's going to come into the lineup now for the Suns. Wesley Person will check out. So what that means is they'll be operating with Majerle and KJ in the backcourt. Tisdale, Barkley, and Green up front. 44-39 Phoenix. 8:52 to go in the first half of Game 6. Chucky Brown, no one stopped him.
Well, see what's happening. Here's exactly what's happening. The man defending Chucky Brown was worried about the pass inside to Clyde Drexler and opened up that driving lane.
Kevin Johnson lost it. Up it comes to Drexler to the hole again, and Clyde, the glide, is gliding tonight.
Clyde, the slide, is gliding tonight.
And the Suns' lead has been cut to 1. Kevin Johnson now trying to take Cassell inside. He looks for the screen from Tisdale. Pick and roll. He'll pump it up. Not there. Rebound, Chucky Brown. Brown coming off of a career game of 15 points and 8 rebounds. Ball deflected by Tisdale. Majerle comes back. Only man back is Chucky Brown. Charles is going to set with a three, and he missed his first shot of the night. Here comes Drexler again. Clyde is in overdrive. Here comes Cassell. Cassell against Kevin Johnson.
Clyde Drexler told us before the game, he says, guys, I'm 10 pounds lighter. He lost 10 pounds in 2 days with those flu-like symptoms, but they don't seem to be hurting him much tonight.
He is on the move. We have a 20-second timeout as the Rockets on an 8-0 run have taken a 1-point lead. Let's go back to the last basket by Sam Cassell.
Well, Sam Cassell has been an inspirational player. Who will forget how he played last year in the championship run? Clutch performance, the great three that he hit in the finals. How about this? The guy has a way of getting himself open, and then when he gets right towards his defender, he surprises you with his elevation, buys himself a lot of space. You know, when Michael Jordan goes up to shoot the ball, Gary, I always say that he could go up there, have a cup of tea, decide what he's going to do, and then shoot or pass. You see a little bit of that in this guy. You know, he's got that kind of elevation where he gets over and has a nice, clean look at the basket.
I tell you, this is a very well-played first half. Both teams have had outstanding moments.
I'm blown away by the level of excellence. If this can continue, it will be a time capsule game.
45-44 the Rockets. Kevin Johnson comes back, slices inside, and looks like he may have gotten hit in the face again. He's going to be all right, shaking it off. But Kevin with that penetrating move.
Well, Paul Westphal wants KJ to be more aggressive. He said he's going to get more isolations, more screen and roll. What they try to do is they try to backpick Hakeem Olajuwon when KJ has a one-on-one or an isolation or a pick and roll, and they try to back pick Hakeem so that he cannot come in and block the shot. On that replay, you saw him coming in to block the shot, but he was too late.
Yeah, and he committed the foul, sending Kevin to the line. He gets a three-point play, and so the Suns back on top now by 2. 47-45, 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Drexler with Majerle trying to stay with him, and been pretty hard to do. He lost it this time. Majerle comes up with it. Majerle had 5 steals in the game Tuesday. He brings it back out to Kevin Johnson. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Kevin using a high pick from Shays. AC looking in. 10 seconds now. Majerle looks like he wants to try a three. Goes inside. A little out of control. And the ball on the floor. And Barkley's got it blocked by Hakeem. Barkley still fighting. And now we have a foul on Chucky Brown.
You know what I think happened? I thought I heard a whistle. I saw everybody kind of freeze for a moment there. The ball was just kind of laying on the floor. And everyone kind of stopped. It was like a still frame. Let's take a look. Not as much as I thought. Charles just asserted himself and went in and picked up the loose one.
Well, I can understand why you wouldn't hear the whistle. As noisy as it is here. Majerle to the hole. Shays tries a putback, and Robert Horry strips it and comes out with it.
Numbers.
Cassell backing in to the trailer Brown. How about this Chucky Brown? He was in the CBA at the start of the year, and he is playing like a veteran in the last couple of games.
You're right, Gary. He gave a great performance in Game 5, and I think he's inspired by that performance.
We're tied at 47. Barkley with 10 seconds on the shot clock. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Now with 5. Tipped away by Horry with 3. Shays is going to pump it up with 2. And that time the Rockets got what they wanted out of this defensive play. Out it comes to Drexler. Drexler with a 3. AC with a rebound. Ahead it comes to Majerle. Suns have been out running every opportunity they can. Majerle with a 3. And Majerle has not been shooting the threes all that well. And we're going to have a foul. And now we're having a timeout called by the Houston Rockets. 6:07 to go in the first half. We're tied at Game 6 at 47 all. Dick, let's go back to this last sequence for the Suns.
Well, Dan Majerle's struggling. First of all, he's not a stop-and-pop shooter. He needs to have his feet set. Not bad, but he has struggled tremendously in these playoffs and last year as well.
Well, coming into tonight, as far as threes are concerned, against these Rockets, he was 4 of 16. Now, in the first round against Portland, he was 11 of 19. A lot of it, you have to give credit to Houston's defensive tactics. They just don't leave him very often.
No, that's true. They get up in his chest, but, I mean, you look at those numbers, 31% in the playoffs this year. Last year, he was 30%. So, I mean, you could say he's improving, but by 1% to up to 31%.
Yeah,
obviously, I'm being facetious here. The guy's struggling huge.
Well, Dick, to follow up on your point, a lot of people thought it was Vernon Maxwell that shot him down last year, but not this year. He's not around. He's on an indefinite leave of absence due to some personal problems. So you got to give credit to the combined Houston defense. They just don't leave Majerle. They don't give him a lot of shooting room.
Well, Gary, that's an astute observation. Vernon Maxwell, yes, he's not here. But if you want to guard Dan Majerle, just get up in his chest and make him drive. He's not a strong driver and not a strong finisher.
Suns up by 2. And Shays has picked up another foul as he tries to somehow stay with Hakeem Olajuwon. That's his second.
The fouls that Danny Shays picks up here, I don't, you know, this to me is like a little no babies allowed stuff, but, you know, just a little mixing up in there. See, when they put the hands on, that's what you can't do. They'll allow an arm bar there, so he's frustrated.
So he checks out. Joe Clyde checks in. Cassell spin move on Kevin Johnson. Barkley with a rebound. Kevin Johnson says, get out, let's go. And as he tries to drive, Cassell jumps in front, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Kevin Johnson. That's his second. Boy, did Cassell get over there quickly.
Yeah, you know, there are quick guards in this league. You can talk about your Gary Paytons. You can talk about your KJs. Very few people can stay in front of KJ. He makes a little quick move here. To me, that's Sam Cassell's foul.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was not an offensive foul. Here's Olajuwon. That's his favorite spot to shoot the ball. Talking to Rudy T, that's where he's most effective, on that baseline left.
He likes to shoot on the 5 of 1995. He doesn't miss.
Kevin Johnson now with Cassell on top of him. Joe Clyde thought about it, and it goes to AC Green. Green changed the shot. Chucky Brown did a good job defensively. Here comes Drexler. Clyde in the open floor to Chucky Brown, and he's fouled by Joe Clyde. But Drexler is creating a lot of problems for the Suns as he gets out in the open floor.
Here's what I'm seeing evolve here in this game. Gary, you talked about the high level of play that we've been witnessing here tonight. It's starting to wind down a little bit. These players can't keep up this pace, but Clyde Drexler is still playing at that same high level.
Joe Clyde committed the foul, his first. Here's Olajuwon, the double team coming. And that spin move, great balance.
Off the 5.
So well.
He hit the 5.
We're tied at 49. 4:55 to go in the first half. Suns right now a little hesitant. They were getting to their offense a lot quicker. Now with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Barkley lost the ball, gets it back. He was going up for the slam and it got away from him. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Clyde from outside. Rebound Barkley. The putback's not there. And Drexler on the move again. Drexler waiting now for Hakeem to set up offensively. There's the 3 by Clyde. Rebound by AC Green. Both teams right now a little shaky offensively. You talked about that moments ago. Here's Kevin Johnson into Barkley. He missed it. Barkley wanted the foul, and he's all over Ed Rush about it. He's got to be careful.
He's going to get one. He's on him hard.
Cassell looked at the 3, backs it out. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Into Olajuwon. 4 minutes left in the first half. Olajuwon, look at that. He traveled. He didn't get rid of it that time. How many times have you seen him go up and kind of hold that ball suspended in midair? This time he landed before he got rid of it.
Well, you know, you have to blame the perimeter teammate here. As he gets into the lane, goes up, that's what he always does. You've got to move over. Robert Horry, number 25, should have moved over and given him a good passing lane.
Got something on the floor right now near center court. They do some housekeeping out there. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report. Ernie Johnson, our Atlanta studios, with the co-NBA Rookies of the Year, Grant Hill and Jason Kidd. We'll have highlights of that Orlando-Chicago Game 6. Orlando leading in that series 3-2. Barkley out to Clyde. Clyde's going to try another one from outside. He was 3 of 9 in Tuesday's game shooting outside. Drexler with a rebound. He's on his horse again, and he draws the foul. I tell you, right now, the Suns have no way of stopping Drexler. He is in the open floor, and he's been unmolested on many occasions.
Jerry, you are so right. I mean, he's playing like the Energizer Bunny here. I mean, the guy has really got a lot of energy. I think he did a very courageous thing, and something happened. He said he was laying in bed when he was sick just prior to Game 5. Said he didn't know whether he should get up and try to go. He said he felt just a tinge better. Then he said he went to the locker room, and when he walked in the locker room, he got such a warm reception. Remember now, he's new to this team. A Rocket because of a mid-season trade. Walks into the locker room of a team that he doesn't really know that well. They gave him a standing ovation for coming. He was really moved by it, and I think that's part of why we're seeing this kind of a performance.
Plus, the team was moved just by his presence coming back, too. They talked about what a lift it was emotionally. Drexler gets 1 of 2 free throws. The Rockets by 1. Clyde's going to try this again, and he gets this one. Joe Clyde from outside, trying to keep that defense honest. Get Hakeem to come out and cover him. Hakeem the follow-up. Rebound by Barkley. That's 8 rebounds now for Charles to go with his 25 points. Charles hitting his first 10 shots tonight. He's now 10 of 15. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Into Barkley. Little pump fake goes in, and he just left Chucky Brown nailed to the floor.
Yeah, you know what? He wants Chucky Brown. He wants the man of renown, Chucky Brown, because Charles Barkley says, I am the only Chuck. That great up fake, froze him, got to the basket easily.
Well, the Chuckster looks like the Chuckster once again. He has 27 points in the ball game. Here's Brown slashing across the middle. Marley with a good defensive move. Green comes over and helps. Who's the foul on? We're going to have a timeout now by the Phoenix Suns, as we'll be coming back. The Rockets with the basketball and trailing by 3. Gary Bender with Dick Versace. Let's go back now with the Suns on top now by 3.
Gary, the Phoenix Suns rely on their centers to shoot outside. Hakeem Olajuwon is going to put a lot of pressure on Joe Clyde to make this shot because he's going to come out, stop, and then run out. So Joe Clyde is the last line of defense, and he knows he's got to worry about this shot because if it doesn't go down, they're going to get a rebound and throw a home run to Hakeem Olajuwon, who'll do a little fancy double dewberries down at the other end.
Well, the shooting has dropped off in this ball game, but it had to. Look what they did in the first quarter, both in the 60 percentile. Now down to 33 and 47. Suns in the second quarter with Barkley still leading the way. The thing you have to be concerned about as Brown hits the first free throw after the foul by Majerle is it's all Barkley right now. Who else is going to step up with Charles? He has 27 of the 53 points.
Right, and AC Green is the next highest scorer with 6, and that can't continue. Kevin Johnson, the man with the ball, has got to put some points on the board.
Of course, his pace interrupted by the fact he had to have 2 stitches after colliding with Olajuwon early in the ball game. 2:18 now left in the first half. Horry staying with Barkley, and with 4 seconds, that's an illegal defense. That's a second. They'll shoot a technical. That kind of bailed them out because they weren't doing anything offensively with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
It was a bailout, but there was confusion by the Rockets as to who was supposed to come on the double team. What happened was Drexler went down to double team and realized, wait a minute, that's not the assignment. Sam Cassell came across, so you had actually both of them illegal because Cassell came across way too slow.
Kevin Johnson just missed his first free throw. He was 3 of 3 before that. They'll take it out on the side. 2:12 left in the first half. The Suns up 3 games to 2. Trying to get redemption after being eliminated in the semifinals last year by the same Rockets team, 4 games to 3. Kevin Johnson trying to shake Sam Cassell. Majerle flashing in. Clyde is 1 of 3 from the field. Can't get it. And Horry with a powerful rebound. 1:51 left in the first half. Drexler just in perpetual motion. Inside, got the basket and the foul.
That's too good. That's too good.
11 points for Drexler.
If you're Paul Westphal, you've got to be disturbed by what's happening as far as his defense being able to be penetrated. You talked about it earlier when Chucky Brown took the ball to the basket. You should not be able to do this. Take the ball all the way in and never be challenged. You've got to move the black-shirted Phoenix Suns bodies into the red paint and make it difficult for Clyde to score in there. Or you've got to foul him and put him on the line. You got to send them a message if you're Phoenix saying you can't continue to do this.
Drexler now with 12 points in the second quarter. Clyde committed his 3rd foul. He's now been replaced by Danny Ainge. Kevin goes in, and Horry blocked it. Up comes Cassell, 3-on-1. Majerle falls down, and Horry had a clear path to the basket, but couldn't catch the ball.
Breaks your heart when you have a 3-on-1 and you come up with an empty gas tank.
So the Suns come away much better than they expected to on that breakout. Rockets by 2, 55-53. Minute 23 left in the first half. Kevin Johnson using the screen by Shea. He's going to try to hit it from outside. Now, if he starts hitting that shot, it changes the whole ball game.
Well, notice that Wesley Person and Dan Majerle are in the game. When Phoenix runs that high pick and roll, they want 2 3-point shooters in the game, 1 in each corner.
55 all now. Olajuwon backing in on Shea.
The shake.
There it is. That's his spot. Not there. Barkley with a rebound. Barkley now with 9 caroms. He had a 20 rebounding game Tuesday, as did AC Green. Barkley, he wants to take another 3. Majerle tries to come down with a rebound. He's got it. Tries to load it up. Hakeem blocked it. It'll be out of bounds off the Rockets. Hakeem is just changing shot after shot inside.
You know, the most amazing thing to me is Hakeem, the Dream, Olajuwon, is the 3rd team All-NBA center this year when he was the MVP of the league last year.
2 years, the last 2 years.
No, I mean MVP of the whole league, not just the defensive player of the league.
And now Horry's coming out. That was the 5th block of the game for Olajuwon. Danny Ainge has checked into the game. 39.9 seconds left in the first half.
There's the isolation.
Backing in on Cassell. Drexler comes over and helps. Person wide open shot. He hit a three. Person's had 16 and 14-point games back-to-back and playing well again tonight.
Yeah, you know, Paul Westphal wants to get other people involved. That's very smart what he's doing. He is making sure that other people get involved by running that high pick and roll. Kevin Johnson trying to get open, penetrate, and dish to the outside shooters.
7 seconds difference between the game and the shot clock. The slicer is Majerle, and Ellie lost it. That's twice now. The Rockets have had shots that apparently were going to be easy to make and couldn't hang on to the ball.
You know, like the kid in the candy shop, he spilled the whole box. So excited.
4 seconds left now in the first half. Barkley breaks loose and Cassell spotted it, comes up with a steal. He launches one. Remember, he hit a three from midcourt in Game 3 against the Suns. And so the Suns lead it by 3, 58-55. And Charles Barkley has been a monster in this first half. Barkley with a huge game. Started out hitting his first 10 shots, going on to 27. Reebok halftime report coming up.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok.
All right, they have played 24 minutes at the Summit in Houston, Texas. The reigning champions down by 3, 58-55 as the Suns try to close them out here on TNT. Welcome to the Reebok Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta, along with Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, the co-rookies of the year in the NBA. And folks, before we talk to these guys, we want to show you one instance from the first half that made both of these guys cringe. Hakeem Olajuwon turning right into the face of Kevin Johnson. It can get dangerous out there, can it not, guys? Jason?
I think so. And who said the NBA game isn't physical?
Yeah. I don't think either of you guys have ever said that. That makes you hurt just to watch that thing.
Oh, definitely. I know Kevin Johnson and Hakeem will have headaches tonight.
Yeah, Kevin had to get a couple of stitches and sat out much of the first quarter, did come back and scored 7 points. Charles Barkley leads everybody with 27. Hakeem has 12, as does Clyde Drexler. Let's get into the Houston attack. Jason, you play these guys quite a bit in the Western Conference, in the Midwest Division specifically. What does Clyde Drexler bring to the table?
He brings everything to a table. He brings a score, an added score for Olajuwon to take a little pressure away from Olajuwon. So when they double team Olajuwon, Olajuwon could kick it to Clyde for 2.
There were some folks saying that maybe they shouldn't have made this deal. You lose Otis Thorpe, you bring Clyde Drexler in here, but you can see what he does on the offensive end.
Well, he must feel well today because he's definitely taking the ball to the basket, and here's a play where he finishes it. And he's been doing it all night.
And even after all these years, he can still do it. On the other side of the ball, on the Phoenix end, Grant, you said in our pregame show that you thought Charles Barkley may have a little edge tonight. He may have a little focus on wanting to close this thing out, and he's played a great first half.
He really has. And Charles, like I said, was very upset and wanted to come in and play well, and he has. And you know, he's just been unstoppable tonight thus far, going outside and inside.
18 points in the first quarter for Charles Barkley, 27 in the first half, and here's your point illustrated.
Yeah, Charles says, somebody come out here and check me, and he shoots the 3 on him.
Hey, even when they do check him, he shoots that thing, and from the inside.
And I know he's saying now nobody can check me. He's going to the hole and dunking on everybody.
Charles Barkley feeling it because he really disappeared in the last game in the second half, but he has helped Phoenix to a 3-point lead, 58-55 after 24 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to update Chicago and Orlando playing right now on TBS. We'll be right back. Phoenix Suns looking for the clincher. They're up by a 3-pointer over the Rockets after 24 minutes at the Summit. The Reebok halftime report continues. Right now on TBS, Chicago and Orlando are playing Game 6 at the United Center, a chance for the Magic to go back to where Horace Grant used to play and close out Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Shaquille O'Neal and the guys with the focus. And they come right out to work. Shaq, he's got 19 points at last report. Nice little spin in the lane for a couple. Orlando out to the early lead. Scottie Pippen contributing big time tonight. Strong move in the paint and right past the big Shaq. Michael Jordan got 13 points into the third period. None prettier than these two. I don't know how he did it, but he was looking right at me when he made that shot, and it went for him. Penny Hardaway had Michael on in much of the first half and knocked down 19 points. He has yet to score in the second half, but the Orlando Magic in the third quarter hanging on to the lead. It's 81-77 late in the third period. Orlando looking for the clincher against the Chicago Bulls. You guys take a look at this series, and I mean, did you think when Michael came back this was a ticket to the finals for the Chicago Bulls?
I definitely did. I thought, you know, first of all, Chicago would just beat Orlando in 4 or 5 games, and Orlando's really come out and played great basketball. They've been led by Horace Grant, and other players have stepped up. And they made it real difficult for Chicago, and if they continue to play the way they've been playing, Chicago will be going home.
Yeah, you've seen the Magic firsthand. You only play them a couple of times during the regular season, but I think Shaq dropped about 40 on you one night at reunion.
Yeah, Shaq is impossible to guard. You just hope that he has an off night or he has a headache and he doesn't feel like playing, but you never find that in this game.
Right now they're playing on TBS, as we said, and Horace Grant of the Orlando Magic has injured his hand going for a rebound. He is headed to the locker room. We'll update you on that. If you want to watch that game, get that clicker out, baby. TBS for the Magic and the Bulls. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Welcome back to Atlanta and the Reebok Halftime Report. Later on tonight here on TNT, it's Game 6 of the Spurs-Lakers series from the Great Western Forum. This has been an unbelievable series from the L.A. point of view, I think, because the Spurs, the #1 seed in the Western Conference, everybody's thinking this is their year. They won more than 60 games. How do you explain what the Lakers have been able to do, Jason?
Well, they're a young team, and right now they probably don't have the experience or know what position they're in. They're just going out there to play, and they're having fun. And I think Nick Van Exel has a big reason to do with that.
We have the shots Nick Van Exel hit the other night in Game 5 that made a Game 6 possible. Let's take a look at what he did late in regulation to tie the game, and then in overtime. How about that three? And this one was really incredible, this sequence.
Well, Nick Van Exel has been doing this all season with the Lakers, and this is what he likes, crunch time, and he pulls up a running jump shot. He probably tell you he does that in practice. So,
Avery Johnson had to be seeing that play in his sleep. He was this close to getting that ball away from Vlade Divac. I mean, do you take it home with you after a game? Do you replay episodes from a game when you go home at night?
Well, especially a game like that, I'm sure that night was pretty tough for Avery Johnson, but you know, the Spurs are going to bounce back. They're going to come out and be real focused tonight and try to play real hard and try to contain Nick Van Exel.
That's very well put. Let's update the situation on Horace Grant. We told you moments ago that he had left the game at the United Center in Chicago with a dislocated finger, we're told. Now, here's how it happened. You see Horace Grant going up for the rebound, and Pippen is up there with him, and Horace Grant with a dislocated finger. They're going to take him to the locker room, pop that thing back into place, and he's going to be back and into action for the fourth quarter when they start the fourth quarter at the United Center. Orlando trying to hold on to the lead right now. Here on TNT, we got a 3-point game. What do you look for in the second half from the Suns and the Rockets? Either one of you, because we have limited time. Flip a coin, it's you.
Well, I see Charles continue to dominate, but I see Hakeem and Drexler playing a great basketball game, and I think it'll come down to Phoenix winning the game and going back home to play golf.
We have more time than we thought. What are your thoughts on the second half?
I think Houston's going to pull it out at home, and they'll be going back to play at Phoenix, but they won't be playing golf.
You can see we don't agree.
You guys have been spending too much time together. 58-55, the Phoenix lead over the Houston Rockets. The third quarter is coming right up.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok.
In this Game 6, we've had 5 ties, 7 lead changes, and the Suns with the advantage at the halfway point, 58-55. Well, we wondered how Charles Barkley would respond. Enormously, he responded. He had his first 10 shots, 27 points in the first half.
You know, and it's been a real treat for us, Gary. We've been able to be witness to, I think, some of the finest basketball that I've seen in the league this year, or maybe in many years. Charles Barkley is on fire, en fuego, amatza, any kind of plaudits you want to find, he's got it.
Well, it's time now for the Budweiser game summary. Both these teams came out of the shooting over 60% in the first quarter. You knew they couldn't continue that pace, but we've had some excellent athleticism. Both of them slowing it up as far as the shooting was concerned in the second quarter.
Well, you see that Phoenix shot almost 70% in the first quarter. You knew that had to calm down. I don't think I've ever seen a team go through a whole game where the other team is defending them where they're going to shoot that much.
Nicole Watson visited with Rudy Tomjanovich just moments ago, and here's that interview.
Rudy, in the first half, so much back and forth, but Charles Barkley, 27 points. How do you contain him in the second half?
Well, we're going to still double him down in the post, but he's making outside shots, some of them with guys on him, and we're going to try to neutralize them. But I think the difference in this game, in the previous games, we held our turnovers down. We've got 9 already, and that got their running game going.
Our color analyst, Dick Versace, likened this to a Mike Tyson-Michael Spinks fight. How did you see it?
He's got it right. It's very intense. We like to get this to be more of a defensive battle.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Clyde Drexler, who was so sick in the game Tuesday, has opened up this game wide open. His tactics have really hurt the Phoenix Suns.
Gary, he's 10 pounds lighter, and he looks like he's 10 pounds lighter. I guess I might feel this way if I was 10 pounds lighter. But he's just flying down the court. This time a dish off to Sam Cassell, who elevates over KJ and gets a nice easy basket. But it's been Drexler on the half court as well, penetrating through the Phoenix Suns defense. Look here, no challenge all the way. A nice clean finish. One of the premier finishers in the league.
Both he and Olajuwon leading the Rockets in scoring with 12 each. Danny Shea starts the second half with a miss, and Chilcoot with a rebound. Kenny Smith hit a couple of shots early in that first half. He had 8 points in that first half of play as Olajuwon swings it out to Horry. AC Green jumps out on him. Horry goes by him, and we've got a foul. Power move that time by Robert Horry.
You know, Gary, I think we're going to see these two teams settle down some. We saw such emotion. You know, these teams started the game like they were shot out of cannons, both of them. And both of them were defending. The offense was spectacular, but now it's kind of wound down. And I think you're going to see in this half more of a grind it out, more of a half-court game.
Robert Horry going to the line after AC Green committed his second foul. Robert Horry has drawn the defensive assignment on Barkley, but it hasn't taken him out of his offense. He's been very consistent in this series, averaging 11 points a game, and the second one rattles in. 1 point game. Kevin Johnson, who had to leave early in the game to get a couple of stitches in his upper lip. And it comes to Barkley. Shays are going to let him have that shot. They're going to start sticking it. Did not. Rebound by Horry.
How about this? There's that run out. We talked about it. The high post centers
got the foul too.
The high post centers of Phoenix must make those shots, because when they miss them, Hakeem Olajuwon is running out. Rudy T's got his hand on his mouth saying, I got a little secret here. I'm going to make you think about every shot you take from the high post, because my man, the dream, is running out.
Shays commits his third foul. Joe Klein has committed 3 fouls. And Hakeem Olajuwon now a chance for a three-point play. And so the Rockets have taken a 2-point lead.
Rudy Tomjanovich should get more credit for being a great thinker of this game than maybe he does. Obviously a good motivator, but I think he thinks this game as well as any coach in the league.
And I think his toughness is extended to his team. There's Drexler with the block. It'll be off for the Rockets. With 8 seconds to go, the Suns will get it. You know, I was talking to Rudy T today. Even though they won the World Championship last year, he may have done a better job coaching this season. He's had a lot of distractions, trades, injuries, and they're still alive.
Well, he hesitated when you told him that, and then I chirped in, winning the championship's more important.
Kevin Johnson thought he was fouled as he goes in. The ball deflected. 1 second on the shot clock. Kevin really upset after he moved inside, did not get the call. So with 1 second, it'll be a quick catch and shoot. AC to Barkley, deflected by Hakeem, and the shot clock expires, so they'll bring it back.
It's not the smartest play on the inbounds with so few seconds on the shot clock. You got to run some kind of a quick hitter. This time, what they did was they tried to lob to Barkley. Hakeem does a great job of just batting it away. Shot clock violation, possession to Houston.
So the Rockets often moving very effectively. They trail at half 58-55, now lead by 2, 60-58.
There's that in-out game.
Olajuwon looking for help. Off to Kenny Smith. Not there. Barkley with a rebound. He's now in double figures with 10. Kevin Johnson pulling up with the jumper, and that's the shot that was really going the day he scored 43 points here in the summer.
Gary, you mentioned at halftime that someone for Phoenix has to step up and help Charles. You're absolutely right.
And Drexler had that one deflected. Tisdale aggressively with a rebound. Kevin Johnson to Person with a three. What a sweet shooting touch this rookie has from Auburn. 63-60. So the Suns have a kind of a slow start, but now they bumped it up. They pick up 5 points in a hurry. Here's Drexler with a three from outside. Johnson with a rebound. Looking around to Person. Person blocked by Horry.
Here comes that pace again, Gary.
Can you stay with it? Here is Smith inside. Tipped by Drexler. Drexler is just playing a whale of a game. He has 14 points and seemingly never has felt better in his life.
Or lighter.
63-62. The Suns by 1 point. That's deflected out of bounds. Phoenix will get it back. 11 seconds on the shot clock. For Charles Barkley, who is 11 of 17 in the first half. Hasn't taken a shot in the second half. Here he goes. Barkley in. Reverse. Horry got a piece of it. He got another piece of AC Green's shot. What defense. That's 3 straight blocks by Robert Horry.
Becoming block city.
And Horry and Drexler again with a follow. Who is this number 22? He is flying around.
Well, he is slamming around. Five slamma-jamma is returned.
Rockets by 1, 64-63. What athleticism Drexler has shown here tonight. Into Barkley, the crowd at a fever pitch right now.
Late trap.
6 seconds on the shot clock, deflected by Smith. With 3, Kevin's going to have to pump one up. Rebound Green, and he's fouled as he tries to go back up with it. Well, the Suns that time really didn't get much out of that. They finally had to have Kevin try one from outside because the Rockets were deflecting the ball, staying with people. They're in their face right now.
Well, you know, you mentioned before about KJ hitting that jump shot the night he got 43. For him to hit that shot, he needs to freeze you with the threat of the drive. To get you back on your heels, he needs a little space. He's not a big man, about 6'1½", and he needs to be able to freeze you, get you back on your heels so that he can get space. If he can't, then he has a hard time hitting the shot. Now watch this. He doesn't have time to freeze the defender with the dribble, so he's challenged and misses it rather badly for KJ.
AC Green hit the first free throw. He has 7 points. He is 5 of 5 from the line. We're tied at 64. 6th tie of the ball game, and AC gives the Suns a 1-point lead. And look at Barkley. Oh, he almost did it again.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's so into it tonight. He's going to try to do everything he can. He wants to load him up on those massive shoulders and get it done.
Denny Smith to Chilcutt. Chilcutt will try a 3, and you got to respect his range. He gives him a different look when he comes into the game.
Well, we talked about it, Gary. The 48-minute green light for all the three-point shooters. They're going to live by it.
Chilcutt now with 9 points in the ball game. Person dumping it into Barkley. Barkley waiting for the double team. It comes. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kevin Johnson pinned down on the ground by Horry. A jump ball, and Robert Horry in this quarter has made 4 very good defensive plays.
Robert Horry, amazing effort here. Has to come all the way across the lane and then put a kind of like a beeline on the ball. He had to get leather when he made that challenge. Anything else would have been a foul. That was a tremendous athletic play.
You see, Kevin was trying to get a 20-second timeout, but instead they have a jump ball. Ron Garrettson to put the ball up. Tisdale had it for a moment. Still's got it. Gets it out of there. Person with a 3. And Person has stroked 2 very good-looking threes from outside in this quarter.
Gary, he's some kind of rookie. I know you see him a lot. I'm not treated to this young lad that often. I want to tell you something. He's a beautiful sight to behold for a rookie.
3rd straight double-figure game scoring-wise with 13, and that's going to be a travel on Olajuwon. Tisdale that time staying with him, precipitating the turnover. As Rudy T told Nicole at halftime, 9 turnovers in the first half was too many.
Yeah, but you know, a couple of those turnovers came on those 3-on-1 breaks where they just they were unforced turnovers. They just kind of were too excited.
Suns by 1, 7-18 in the 3rd. Kevin goes baseline, and he got Kenny Smith the fouling. See, that's that crossover move, that power move you're talking about. It's hard to know how to defend this guy. He can shoot it from outside or he can take it to the hole.
It's impossible to defend if he gets you off balance, and that's the crucial thing. You got the up fakes and the crossovers. It's unbelievable.
Danny Ainge comes into the ball game. AC Green will check out, so the Suns going small with 7:13 to go in the third quarter. Barkley with Chilcadani. Tisdale, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Into Charles, tough catch. He's got it. Got Chilcad into him and committed the foul. That would have counted had it gone. Let's take a look now at tonight's GMC scoreboard. And I know, Dick, we want to see the score coming up. The Orlando-Chicago game. Of course, that's been going. And look at this. It's dead even.
What I tell you about these playoffs? Anywhere. TNT, TBS, turn it on. You'll find something great. We got something great going here as well.
Well, you know what's interesting about this game? The Suns very interested in what San Antonio does. If they would win this ball game and San Antonio would win, the Suns would head to San Antonio. So they're packed to go to San Antonio or to return for Game 7 in Phoenix.
Well, Paul Westphal told me that they are, if they win the game, they're going to go back to the hotel. They're staying overnight either way. But I guarantee you they'll all be tuned in and watching that game with a great deal of interest.
And we might add on TNT immediately following this one. Barkley, now you can see he's dropped off after hitting his first 10 shots. Suns by 2, 69-67. Barkley with 28, now 29. Chucky Brown now is coming to the Houston lineup. Boy, he has really been a bonus to Rudy Tomjanovich. The guy who started with the Yakima Sun Kings at the start of the year. Here's Kenny Smith out to Drexler. Olajuwon, face-up jumper.
Well, they ran a little screen on the baseline, and Joe Clyde dropped down to help out. That helped free up Hakeem, and he just laced up an open jumper. Looked like a warm-up jumper.
6.5 to go. Kevin Johnson dumps it out to Clyde. Here's Barkley. Clyde with the face-up jumper. Can't get it. Kevin has a rebound. Double team, splits the double team, goes in and got it. Boy, that was some athletic move by Kevin Johnson.
Well, I think he's one of the best finishers at point guard that there are in this league, and there's some great ones, but the man is a human jet.
11 points now for KJ. Kenny Smith wanted a 3. Kevin got in his face. Drexler with a 3 from outside. Barkley with a rebound. 11 for Charles Barkley. 5:56 to go in the third. Kevin with a jumper from outside. Clyde couldn't come up with it. Horry had position. A lot of the fans thought Clyde should have picked up his 4th foul. Horry into Hakeem. Hakeem backing in on Clyde. Kenny Smith. He got Danny Ainge in the air. That's a 2. That is a 2, not a 3.
Oh, that was a sweet move by Kenny Smith. A nice little drop-off pass from the Dream. But then he did that little show. Got Ainge in the air and buried the jumper.
Danny Ainge kicking it outside to Kevin Johnson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The Suns by 1. Ainge. A floating left-hander. That was not a good look. The ball deflected out. The Suns will get a new life. A fresh 24 seconds on the shot clock. The Suns call timeout. 5:10 to go in the third. And Phoenix with a 1-point lead.
It's the playoffs. Time for adjustments. Keep your eye on Kenny Smith. The Houston Rockets normally spot up. Watch what happens when the ball goes inside. Hey, a rare cut by Robert Horry, compressing the defense. The Dream drops the shot off for Kenny Smith for a spot-up shot. Watch. Little head fake there. I got some time now. Drain City.
Well, they have been draining a lot of them in this quarter. Look at Phoenix, 4 of 15. I think of significance is the fact that Barkley's taken only 1 shot in this third quarter.
You know, it's interesting because in Game 5, he was very, very quiet also in the third quarter. He's got to get himself out of whatever mental doldrum he's in, and he's got to respond.
Well, he started out well, hitting his first 10 shots. Person backing in, getting position, uses his height to 6'6" to shoot it over Sam Cassell, and Person with 15 points. His best was a 16-point performance in Game 4 in this series.
Well, we don't know what went on in the huddle with Paul Westphal. He may have said, hey, let's do this. Let's get everybody else involved if we got the lead, and we'll kind of rest the chuckster for the fourth quarter.
Here's Sam Cassell, and he's got a three.
That could have been a 4.
You know what?
There was some definite contact on that shot.
It's tied at 74. Westphal was motioning. He thought he stepped on the line, and we've got a foul. Ron Garrison spotting the foul away from the ball. That foul is going to go on Sam Cassell. That will be only his first.
Well, Sam's a little excited. He just hit the 3. Now he's got a very bad matchup there. Dan Majerle at about 6'6" is very strong.
Majerle checking into the ball game now for the Suns. Pass to Clyde, and he missed it. Cassell with a rebound. Tough shot, though. He's in deep. Tried to do it with the left hand. We're tied at 74. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the third of Game 6. The Suns up 3 games to 2. And the Suns don't want to go to a Game 7. And Hakeem is trying to make that happen.
Yeah, well, that was Hakeem Olajuwon's version of Kevin Johnson. At 7 feet, shake, freeze, raise, drain.
19 points for Olajuwon. Rockets by 2. Pick and roll between Clyde and Kevin Johnson. Kenny Smith stayed with it very well. Off it comes to Clyde. He's getting a lot of looks. He's got to get one of these to go, and he did. Clyde now is 2 of 7 from the field.
You can't have him on the floor if he's not going to take that shot. He has to take it. You have to live with the result.
And that's going to be a blocking foul on Dan Majerle as he tried to stop Drexler, and I'll tell you, no one is stopping Clyde Drexler tonight. That's the 3rd foul on Majerle.
You know, that's interesting. Clyde Drexler only has stopped himself tonight when he has settled for the jump shot. Nobody has been able to stop him off the dribble or running the court.
He has 16 points. He's hit 7 of 14 from the field. Olajuwon backing in, has got it deep. Here's Clyde with a 3. Barkley with a rebound. 12 rebounds for the Chuckster. 3:08 to go in the third. Barkley setting up. He wants the ball. Here comes Olajuwon on the double. Horry bounces off of him. And Clyde, and there's a case of the double really setting up an easy basket for Joe Clyde.
That was just bad rotation. I don't think that's going to open up all the time. Clyde Drexler did not drop down to the baseline to cover Joe Clyde inside.
Joe Clyde throughout the series has been shooting 57% from the field. He had one game he was 6 of 7 shooting outside. Olajuwon back again, and Clyde just has to grin and bear it. Nothing to do.
A nice adjustment by the Rockets. They're sending cutters, clearing the man in the corner away, so the dream shake shot is open.
There's Cassell now trying to body up against Majerle. Steal by Sam Cassell, and Clyde reaches in and commits a foul. Is it going to be? Well, we're going to be okay as Clyde kind of wrestled him around. He'll commit his 4th foul. No flagrant foul, I don't believe. We're going to have a timeout now by the Suns. So the foul on Clyde, his 4th, will be back with this game deadlocked at 78. We're tied at 78 here in the third quarter. A movie premiere coming up next month on TNT, the network that brought you Geronimo. It's the story of the warrior who fought to unite the tribes in an unstoppable army. Join us for Tecumseh when it premieres the first Sunday in June on TNT. Let's check in now with Nicole Watson. Nicole?
Well, the defending world champions have been livid coming to the bench during the timeouts, expressing they can't get a call from the officials in their favor on the offensive end. Rudy T told his team, let's concentrate on the defensive end. He told Robert Horry and Hakeem Olajuwon to continue with their block shots. They both have 5 apiece in the game. 12 for the Houston Rockets compared to the 2 for the Phoenix Suns.
Nicole, you've come up with a very good point that both coaches have to insist upon. You cannot afford, in the last 14 minutes of this game, to get twisted up about the officiating.
Chuck Daly said it very well. He says you got to get past mad. You just got to get through that and continue to keep your focus. Sam Cassell hits a shot. Barkley has some ice on that left knee and left calf area as he's out right now. Kevin Johnson goes inside and penetrates and ties it back up at 80. Here he is. Actually, the thigh in the knee. Barkley took only 1 shot in that Third quarter, we still have 1:49 left in it. Here's Cassell again, a three, and Sam Cassell had 31 points in 37 minutes in the game earlier this year against the Suns, has now started to find the mark.
And Paul Westphal is dumbfounded. He said flat out that was a 2.
And Clyde has responded. He's hit 3 field goals in this quarter.
They must shoot the ball. I said it before, I'll say it again. If you're going to have a Clyde, the shades in there, they have to shoot it. You got to live with the result. That time, Olajuwon did not run out.
Cassell missing there, rebound by Clyde. Kevin Johnson with 13 points in the ball game, 8 assists. Tries to go baseline. Cassell upset. That's a foul. And Ron Harrison letting him do that little jumping act. You better be careful. Now he's talking to Steve Javy, and no T coming. They're ignoring him, but he's got to be careful. You can see Barkley now moving around.
His knee is in an ice pack, and I don't know what that means. I felt that he had a quiet third quarter because he was saving himself, as was his coach, Paul Westphal, for a great finish in the fourth quarter. I hope the knee isn't bothering him. You know, the officiating in this game has been very consistent, but it's been consistently loose.
Yeah, they've let him play.
They really have let him play. I think that's how the players really would rather have it.
Kevin Johnson missing the free throw. Kevin Johnson, one of the better free throw shooters this year in the NBA at 81%. The Suns now, for the game, are 15 of 18. That's 83%. The other night they missed 14 of them, and now they missed 2 in a row.
You don't see KJ miss the deuce very often.
Rockets by 1. A minute to go now in the third quarter. Into Hakeem. He gets Clyde up. Brings it back out to Kenny Smith. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Hakeem again. And he doesn't get it. Rebound by Majerle.
I think Wesley Person got a piece of the shot, blocking it from behind.
Kevin Johnson trying to move inside. Clyde again, and he's going to work. Joe Clyde has stepped up big. He's 5 of 10 for the field. He has 10 points.
Well, you got to give him some credit. He knows that he has to take it, and he's dropping them, and he's feeling good. He's feeling confident.
Suns back on top by 1. Drexler penetrates inside. Got the basket, and he's fouled. The 5 slamma-jamma pair of Drexler and Olajuwon teaming up very effectively again tonight.
Well, we were talking about the fact that Clyde Drexler has been able to take the ball to the basket almost any time he wants, as you see him do here. He's 8 for 10 in 2-point tries, 0 for 6 in 3-point tries. He should not settle for the 3. He doesn't need it. He can get to the cup anytime he wants.
Now Barkley, they're waiting to get him in, and Barkley's having to take the bandage off, get the ice off. He's going to come in, as Westphal says, I can't wait any longer. Majerle picked up his 4th foul, and so Charles comes in with 23 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I really feel that Charles Barkley has got to make a move here. This is a team that he put on his shoulder in the first half of this basketball game. Very, very unexplainable, quiet character in the third quarter, both in Game 5 and again in Game 6.
19 points in the ball game for Drexler to go with Olajuwon's 21. Shot clock is off. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Kevin ducking in to Barkley. Barkley not there, and Barkley's taken 2 shots in this quarter. That's going to be a loose ball foul on Kevin Johnson. He pushed off to get to the shot, and with 1 second left in the third, they're over the limit, and Drexler will go to the line, and Kevin Johnson has committed his 3rd foul.
Well, KJ not only pushed off, he knew he pushed off. So then he went into this Academy Award-winning performance like, that shot is good, that shot is good. But he knew that whistle was against him.
They put a second back up on the game clock. 2 seconds left. Rockets by 2. They trail at halftime by 3. Clyde Drexler doesn't get the first one. Drexler from the line now is 3 of 5 as Joe Clyde's going to come in, and Kevin Johnson will lead.
Gary, you know, when this game started, we saw such great offensive accuracy from both teams. Of course, Phoenix getting off and shooting 70% in the first quarter. But in this town, there's an old song called be the tightened up by archival and the Drells. We're going to see the tightened up before this game is over.
Did you sing a little of that so I'd recognize it? As we come to the end of this third quarter, and the Houston Rockets, who seem to just thrive on elimination games, they lead it as we go to quarter number 4, 87-84, and they call it Clutch City here in Houston, and thus far they have done a clutch job. Game 6 has another quarter to go, and the Rockets on top. And can this guy respond? In the games the Suns have lost, he has not played very well, and look how he started this game tonight. 10 for 10 and 1 of 9 since. He took only 2 shots in the third quarter.
I don't understand it. He was 11 for 17 for 27 points in the first half, and only 2 points here, only 2 shots. Charles Barkley has to get in. He's in a mental doldrum here. He may have burned himself out with that big burst of energy in the first half.
There's Clyde Drexler. He hasn't burned out. As Drexler's spinning move, Barkley boxed out effectively, comes down to the rebound, number 13. Suns down by 3. We've just started the fourth quarter. Game 6. The Suns trying to close it out, go to the Western Conference Finals for the second time in 3 years. Houston trying to stave off yet another elimination game. There's a ball deflected out. 5 seconds now on the shot clock.
I see an adjustment that Houston has made defensively. They're having Olajuwon get out and pressure Joe Clyde. Not give him the shot when he gets the ball and make it difficult for him to pass.
Pass intended for Barkley, never got there. And now AC Green hustles and gets a jump ball with Chucky Brown. And the shot clock had expired. The Rockets thinking maybe that preceded the jump, but it did not, and they'll jump it up. Chicago now with a 102-96 lead, and MJ and company trying to stay alive in the fourth quarter. A lot of 3-2 series. That ball goes to Drexler. Sam Cassell looks into the cutting Drexler, dumps it into Olajuwon. Olajuwon with 21 points in the game. Out to Majerle, who checked in. Back to Hakeem. Hakeem with a face-up jumper. Good ball movement that time.
Very unselfish play by Majerle. He could have challenged for that shot. He could have taken a difficult shot. Very unselfishly kicked it off.
23 points now for the Dream. AC to Barkley. Barkley looks a little frustrated now, telling Clyde to space away from him. Give me some room. Backing in with 5 seconds. Broke the double team. Doesn't get the roll. Green tried to follow, and Hakeem has a rebound. This place right now is deafening.
Houston is playing Phoenix like they've figured him out.
Olajuwon misses. Marley comes down to the rebound. Kevin Johnson. He needs to get started for the Suns. He has 13 points. The face-up jumper, it's just not there like it was when he came in here in Game 4 and threw 43 points at him.
Hey, you can't fault him for that shot, Gary. He got a great look, a little shake, freed himself. Got to knock him down.
This tough team, the Houston Rockets, is something to behold. What mental toughness. Cassell with a 3.
The 48-minute green light is on, baby. The 48-minute green light is on.
And that's the biggest lead of the game for the Rockets. 92-84. And the defending world champions do not want to lose that crown. Cassell, who has responded here in the second half. 9:58 to go, and Rudy T is thinking we're going back to the Valley of the Sun for a Game 7. Here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint, and you talk about some blocked shots. Houston with 12.
You look at that, and you know, you're kind of surprised. I thought they were having a good night. Block City, I'm calling it, because they used to call this Clutch City. It's now turning to Block City. 12 blocks is approaching a record.
Now look at the All-Stars. Barkley scored only 2 points in the second half, up to 29. The Suns, I should say the Rockets in the regular season, averaged 6.3 blocks a game. The most blocked shots has now been broken. They had 14 previously, the Rockets did. I should say the Rockets have a record of 14. That was against the Los Angeles Clippers in '93.
And Sam Cassell is having some kind of second half off the bench. You know, the bench for Houston in Game 5 outscored Phoenix's bench by 16. Sam Cassell can come in and he can get big points in bunches. 11 points in the second half.
Olajuwon committed his second foul. Kevin Johnson gets a free throw to go. Drexler with a breather right now. What a game by Clyde the Glide. Drexler with 20 points. Kevin with his second free throw, and Olajuwon with a rebound. Kevin Johnson's missed 3 very important free throws.
That's very rare for him. He's an excellent free throw shooter.
92-85 Houston. The double on Olajuwon. Horry, I should say Brown is clear. He gets the shot to go, and Person commits a foul. Olajuwon really did a nice job of passing out of the double team.
Well, I think there was a mix-up in the rotation defensively. Anytime you see a man that wide open, there's not a good drop down. See, too late. The rookie, Wesley Person, has to get down and get inside of Chuck Brown. When Chucky Brown is down underneath on the block, the rotation is such that you have to get down and get an inside position.
Chucky Brown was not a good free throw shooter in the regular season, shooting 61%. Now the Magic leads by 1. We'll keep you posted on that game. 94-85, Kevin Johnson trying to get that crossover dribble to take him inside. Barkley backing in on Horry. And Hakeem comes over and helps out, and Hakeem has committed his 3rd foul. They ran 3 different guys at Barkley on that particular play, and he'll go to the line.
I liked his poise on that, and I know you really shouldn't be talking about a guy that was the MVP of the league having to have poise, but he's a human being, and he can get caught up in the emotion of this particular game, and I think indeed he is. But that time he showed great poise, making sure that he found a way to either get the ball up and in or get fouled.
Barkley 5 of 6 from the line tonight. 94-86. Rudy T's team with the advantage. 9:16 left in the game.
And Gary, a big advantage in the area of bench scoring. The Rockets 23, the Phoenix Suns only 9 off the bench.
You know, Barkley in the last 2 games in the 4th quarter has scored a total of 5 points. So he's trying to rectify that here in this 4th quarter.
Well, he looks a little more involved now. He had that kind of mental float for a while, but he's got the look back.
94-87, Houston, 9:07 to go in the game. Olajuwon in low on AC Green. He got the basket. Green could do nothing. They got it so deep.
Now they got him figured out. I mean, they got him figured out on offense. They got him figured out on defense. The Houston Rockets have done their homework. They spent a lot of time with videotapes. They gave the team the day off, but the coaches went to the videotape, and they found a lot of things, like that little split of a slow double team. When the double team is slow, you can split it, and you can almost get anything you want. Earlier, Olajuwon was not splitting that slow double team. He was settling for the dream shake, which is a reliable shot for him. He has so many weapons.
A 10-point lead, the biggest lead of the ball game for Houston. That foul was on Person, his 3rd, coming late, as you said, on the double team. Kevin Johnson using the pick by Barkley. Wesley Person from outside, not there. Rebound Kevin Johnson. They have a new life. Majerle will try a 3. And they jostle for the rebound, and we've got a foul coming up. It's going to go on Majerle.
Because of the way the Rockets play Dan Majerle, they get up in his chest. He doesn't get many shots. So that time he found himself with a wide open shot. Missed it rather badly. He doesn't get enough shots to be warned.
That's the run that's given the biggest lead of the game. Majerle missed it again. 10-point lead for the defending world champions. And there's Kevin Johnson hustling to come up with it. Retrieved by Cassell. And a nice heads-up play by Majerle deflecting that ball. And Houston will get it with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
And Gary Bender, great hustle by Hakeem Olajuwon to kind of keep that ball alive. Batted it out on the floor. Sam Cassell picked it up. Possession, Houston.
That ball deflected out. They'll get it back with 9 seconds. Well, there's something about this Houston team. They don't quit. They're mentally tough. They've got great pride.
Right to the post.
And here it comes into Hakeem. Hakeem against AC Green. Olajuwon with 28.
You can't play behind the post when the shot clock is down and Hakeem Olajuwon is on that block.
Into Barkley. Barkley had that monster first half that got the Suns going so well, but hasn't been able to pick it up again. Horry reaching in on Charles. Marley with 7 seconds. Now with 5. Barkley the follow-away. Hands in his face, but he still had the presence of mind to hit the bottom of the net.
See him trying to fire himself up. He knows. He senses the urgency.
33 points for Barkley. 10-point lead for the Rockets. They swing it around. Ellie, and that got away from Chucky Brown.
Both of these two teams are low turnover teams because they have such great athletes that normally can catch bad passes.
That's the 11th turnover tonight against Houston. Kevin Johnson tried to go up with the left hand. He lost it. Ellie on the move to the trailing Horry. Horry will take his time now. 7:20 left in the game. Marley reaches in. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Olajuwon swinging it out. Cassell gets his man in the air. And they're going to call 3 seconds in the lane. 3 seconds in the lane.
My, that could have been disastrous. That could have been a foul. The shot gone down. A potential 4-point play turned around by a 3-second call.
Well, you know, Paul Westfall's complaining about a 3-second call he had in the last game late. Remember, that was so critical.
Yes, he said basically they won that game on a fluke.
So that 3 did not count because of too long in the lead. Still a 10-point lead. Kevin Johnson trying a 3. He's 4 or 5 from three-point land in this series.
And only 4 of 26 in the regular season. An uncharacteristic 3 by KJ.
Suns still have some time. 6:43 left to try to cut into this 10-point lead. Olajuwon baseline, favorite spot. Similar result. Look at Drexler. He knows that this team is very much alive. (101-89). Kevin tries to go in. No foul. Green tries to take it to the hole. And Houston seems to be coming at you from every direction.
Now you got the Houston Rockets feeding off this crowd. They've got energy. They've got synergy. They got it all cooking for them.
Horry into Olajuwon. Follow away. Doesn't go this time. Barkley with a rebound. Kevin Johnson on the break. They haven't had very many of those in the second half, and Green finishes. Remember in that first half, they were able to break out, get some easy baskets? Hasn't happened in the second half.
Well, normally, because of Houston's spacing, they can get back and force a 5-on-5 game. You heard Rudy T tell Nicole at halftime, we need more of a defensive game. What he meant was, we can only play defense effectively if it's 5-on-5.
Rudy T said we beat people by stopping them defensively. And LA with a huge 3.
Oh, sweetness. Have a kiss.
104-91. The Suns in a desperate state here in Game 6. Barkley missing. The Suns didn't want to extend this to 7 games, but it looks like that's the way it's headed now.
Archie Bell and the Drells, baby. Do the tighten up. Do the tighten up.
Horry into Olajuwon. They double on him. 5 minutes left in the game. Cassell with another 3. Person tips it over to AC Green. Green on the move, and he's going to be fouled by Mary 11. And we have a timeout with 4:57 to go. And Paul Westfall is going to have to go to the drawing board now. And it's going to take a lot of magic for this team to pull this one out and not go to a Game 7. The reigning world champions with their biggest lead of the ball game, 104-91. And what is it about this team? Elimination seems to be the name they like. Look what they've done. 94 defeated Phoenix in a Game 7. The NBA Finals. Remember, they had to come back against the Knicks to win the World Championship. And in the series this year, they came back down 2-1, and now they're on their way to what would be their 7th straight win in an elimination situation.
Well, I think what they did was they memorized every backs against the wall cliche. You know, it's now or never. They really are focused at this point.
Look at this.
Wow.
The Bulls have been closed out.
Oh, wow.
That Orlando team, so young, maturing so quickly. Here's Barkley inside, gets everybody up in the air, tries a left-handed shot, and draws the foul.
you know, in that Orlando-Chicago game, there's going to be a lot of talk about, you know, the efforts by the Chicago Bulls to put the major Band-Aid on their season by bringing Jordan back with 17 games to go. And I think the story will always be told that if you want to win an NBA championship, you got to pay your dues with 82 regular season games.
That puts the Rockets over the limit foul-wise. Olajuwon picked up his 4th. Barkley makes it 104-92.
Hakeem Olajuwon, 8 out of 11 for 18 points in the second half here, Gary. And he is some kind of performer. He has got it cooking right now. And the Rockets, their offense is coming easy, and the Suns are struggling to find offense.
I thought you had a great line earlier, that you feel that Houston has figured Phoenix out.
Well, I was speaking defensively quite honestly at that time, but now I think offensively as well.
Sam Cassell with a 3, and that's their 9th 3 of the night. They are 9 of 19 behind the arc.
Well, they're going to take them. They took 32 in Game 5, making 10.
And Kevin Johnson hung up. Majerle would like to get something going from out there. Now he backs in, fouled away by Majerle.
He should do more of that.
Dan Majerle was 6 points in the ballgame, his first 2 of the second half. 107-94. Drexler into his former Houston Cougar teammate. And we're going to have a foul. A.C. Green trying to cut the baseline off. They've tried Clyde, they've tried Shays, they've tried Tisdale. Now they got A.C. Green trying to defend against Olajuwon.
Well, they need to get a little more speed on him. That spin move, had he been going against Clyde or Shays, he would have dunked it. At least A.C. Green was able to move down and get a body on him.
A.C. Green with his 4th foul against the Suns, their 3rd team foul. Now Cassell just going to let some time burn off here. 3:50 left in the game. Cassell backing in to Olajuwon, the double team. Ellie, a 3, number 10.
They're getting all kinds of time on these threes. And the reason they're getting the time is Olajuwon is buying them time.
Kevin Johnson tries one. Drexler the rebound. There's going to be a Game 7. The Suns had 3 chances to put away the Rockets, and 2 of them have slipped away.
And Rudy T said it best, Gary. The pressure swings.
Yes, sir. And I believe it, don't you?
I do indeed.
Horry, number 11. And they are having a lot of fun. The Houston Rockets are at the expense of the Suns.
They're raining howitzers. ICBMs.
113-94. And these Houston Rockets, they just keep fighting through all these eliminations. Dumps the ball off to Horry. They are launching threes from outside, 11 of them, and look at their reaction. So the Suns have been hit by a howitzer here in the second half. How about this? The Rockets in the second half, Dick Versace, 8 of 13 behind the line.
And here's a key thing as well, Gary. We talked about who is making this happen. Hakeem Olajuwon is making it happen. He's been such a force inside. He's causing a huge collapse on defense by the Suns. He has 10 assists in this game.
Yeah, what an interesting double-double. 30 points and 10 assists. Barkley is down. He'll away to Game 7. And you wonder how the Suns are going to regroup when they go back to Phoenix for the game on Saturday.
That's one of the ugliest jump shots I've seen in a long time. I think it slipped out of his hand.
Tisdale 2 of 5 after going 1 for 7 in the previous 2 games. Look at Olajuwon now. He's having some fun. He's going to go inside and dump it off to Cassell. Cassell with another 3. Rebound to Tisdale. 2:33 left.
Another 30 seconds. I'm Rudy Tomjanovich. I'm getting Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon out of this game.
Majerle with a 3. It didn't hit anything.
I want him out because I want him for 7 and I want him in full health.
The Suns are 5 of 18 from three-point land. Olajuwon tries the 3. Jays brings it out. Elliott Perry on the move. Majerle with another 3, and this one goes. That's got to help him for the next game.
I hope so. I mean, you hate to see a guy struggle, but I would also like to reiterate, get Hakeem Olajuwon out of this game before something silly happens.
I think they're going to do that right now. Pete Chilcott's coming over. Horry was going to call a timeout, but Rudy says, no, keep it going. But I think that's what's going to happen now. Kelly swings it out to Horry. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Olajuwon stripped out of bounds. He'll get it with 3. And here comes Chilcott. And let's see if Rudy heard you. He did. Hakeem's going to come out. What an interesting double-double. 30 points and 10 assists.
A wonderful performance by, an unbelievable warrior. Unselfish, proud, shows up big.
And Ellie with the 12th 3 of the night. Remember now, they had 19 threes against Utah in Game 2, and now with 12 against the Suns here in Game 6 in the second round.
You got to give a lot of credit to both of these coaches. They are trying to prepare their teams for very difficult games. Rudy T's team came out. They live by the 3. They sometimes die by it, but tonight they're feasting at the banquet table.
Got a foul now on Clyde Drexler. Crowd booing here, but they're not very unhappy the way their team has played. 1:16 left in this game.
We just saw the shot of KJ and now the shot of Charles Barkley. Smart that they're both on the bench resting for Game 7. But this game goes all the way back to something that happened, Gary, at the beginning of the game. The tremendous collision between Olajuwon and KJ. Look at how KJ came back from it. Look at how Olajuwon came back from it. Olajuwon came back with an incredible bravura performance. KJ never found his offense.
He had 14 points. In the corner to Chilcott. He tries the 3. Tisdale comes down to the rebound. 45 seconds left here in Game 6. Game 7 Saturday from America West Arena. It'll be on our partners in the broadcast of the playoffs, NBC. So the crowd celebrating as well they should. The Rockets have evened it up at 3 games apiece. And the world champions are thinking about moving into the Western Conference Finals with a victory on Saturday. And the way they're playing, I wouldn't bet against them right now.
No, I wouldn't bet against them either, mainly because of the archival and the Drell factor, and that is the tighten up. They do the tighten up here in Houston, Texas. They not only sing and dance, they play basketball pretty good too.
A mentally tough team, a champion's pride has stepped up again. They now have won 7 straight elimination games. And this is a team that believes.
But Gary, I would also not underestimate a team that has had the success in the last 4 or 5 seasons like the Suns have.
The celebration beginning. Let's go now to Nicole Watson. Nicole?
Sam, what does this game say about the heart of the champion?
Never die. We got faith in one another. We believe in one another. So we got that. That's all we need. We was down 3-1. And guess what? It's 3-3 now.
Your defensive effort, it seems like it got you through the past 2 games. And you guys continue with that.
That's our style of game. Play defense, get to Clyde and Dream, and go off for that.
It seems like the little guys and the little things meant a lot, particularly you.
Oh, yeah, that's my job. I'm supposed to create something when I come in the game. Good things or bad things.
Okay, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
We're back to you, Gary.
Well, the Phi Slamma Jamma group did quite a job. Here's one of them, Clyde Drexler. Clyde, you looked a lot healthier in this game, and it showed the way you played.
Well, I felt better, and they were trying to get me more involved in the game, and it worked out pretty good. I thought our defense was excellent when it had to be. We made a lot of three-point shots when it counted. Just a great overall game.
I don't think anybody believed, really, that you guys down 3-1 could even this thing up.
Well, I tell you, no one probably believed but ourselves, because we've done it. We've done it in the Utah series. When our backs were against the wall, we came back. But I just think there's one more important game, and we're looking forward to Game 7.
Clyde, you lost 10 pounds after being sick. You look better, by the way. You look nice and slim. What's your secret? Let me ask you this. When you went to the locker room, I heard that you were very sick, you got out of bed, you drugged yourself to the locker room, and the reception that you received by these new teammates, you've really only been here a half a year. How'd that affect you?
It was very nice. It kind of pumped me up, got the adrenaline working, gave me the courage to go out and try to warm up and see what I could do. You just never know what you can do unless you try.
Did it carry over to tonight, though?
I thought tonight we had a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and we believed in ourselves. And
Game
hopefully
7,
that'll
baby.
continue.
Game 7 coming.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Clyde,
This is a
congratulations.
good team.
Yes, sir. 20 points. Clyde Drexler, we talked about one half of the Phi Slamma Jamma group. The other half is our Budweiser player of the game. That's Hakeem Olajuwon. What an interesting double. 30 points and 10 assists. As Clyde just pointed to the assists as we were looking at this. 8 rebounds, 5 blocks. He played 43 minutes. And I'll tell you, these champions have some pride. They are mentally tough, and they're headed to a Game 7. We'll be joining Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio.